So I want to answer this next question for you guys. What are Jesus and your thoughts on the other tools often held in reverence, such as smudging, crystals, pendulums, oracle/tarot cards, simply other layers that remove you from love or visuals that humans find comfort in? ? The first thing I would like to say is that I would in no way, shape, or form tell you what Jesus thought. I can tell you what I believe from what I remember, and I can tell you what I know from extrapolation to be true. But Joshua the man, I have ideas of what he might have thought, but to say that I know what his actual full thoughts are would be wrong of me to say. But let me tell you, through my belief, through extrapolation, my thoughts on this. The majority of these tools are based in self-worth issues. They feel like they need an external thing. Not that that's wrong. It's just their belief. They feel they need an external thing to do spiritual work. And so they lean into external things to do spiritual work. Some of the greatest tarot carders I've ever known, after 20 years of reading tarot cards, suddenly start forgetting to bring their cards. And they just start reading without cards. I had one of the most gifted ones I'd ever known. She and I would talk spirituality on a different level than her at a fair doing tarot card readings. And she was telling me that she was having these dreams where she was putting her tarot cards into a river and they were floating away. And I was like, that's because you don't need them. You don't need them. You are fully connected. The information. And what was funny, when you watch her read, she almost didn't look at her cards. The cards were worn and they are hourglass shaped because they'd worn away so much. But she always was getting the information without the cards anyway. But you smudge something to get rid of negative energy, right? I don't believe there's negative energy. I believe that God is love, and any negative energy is our own personal fears. Crystals, pendulums, oracle cards, tarots, they are something for people to put faith in because they don't have enough faith in themselves to believe that they're getting information. And that sounds like a judgment. That's just a belief of mine. Because I believe that we all have the power of connecting and getting this information. I believe that we all are connected to God, and we all are connected to universal infinite wisdom. That's why we feel truth when we hear it, because we are connected, and that's why we walk into a room and we can tell something had gone wrong in that room, or people were arguing, or something didn't feel right. That's a psychic experience, And when you're talking to somebody and the right word pops into your mouth, and it's not a word you would typically use, but it was the perfect word for that moment, that's you tapping into universal knowledge. All these are common things that happen to a lot of different people. But the reality of it is it's because you yourself are connected to Source, just like they are, right? That's one of the reasons I have an issue with people who call themselves healers. It's because the healing happens when the person being healed believes in the healing. You can come there with intent and amplify the power of love by being two or more gathered, but no healing happens without that person taking the healing. It's up to them to heal, right? So when I look at crystals, pendulums, oracle cards, these are all people who are like these are all tools that people use because they're not willing to step into their own power, and so they have to have these divination tools. Do I think that's wrong? No. It's just their belief. And I don't think that for me or anybody else to judge anyone for their beliefs. But you ask me my thoughts on it. And those are my thoughts. And those are my beliefs. I know full well that when I picked up a tarot card deck, it wasn't for me. And when I picked up a pendulum, it wasn't for me. I have a pendulum someone gave me that's hanging on a lamp in the other room. It's been there for 20 years. I don't buy into it. I get my information just by tapping in, just and feeling the discernment of it. So, but the end of your statement, are these layers that remove you from love or visuals that humans find comfort in? They're definitely visuals and tools that humans find comfort in, but the reason they find comfort in is because they don't want to take the power or claim the power themselves. And that is my belief about this. I don't think it's wrong. I recently, on the Spirit Cafe podcast, we had a guest on who was magnificent, but she had a list of modalities that she did. Different kind. What kind of reading do you want? And she had all these different modalities. Well, it became very clear very quickly the modalities were less for her and more for the person she was reading for, what they could believe in. I can believe in cards, so I want a card reading. I can believe in divination. I want that. Right? I can believe in whatever, runes. I can believe in that. So she was so open and so bringing such information through. I had her do a reading on the Spirit Cafe. She did a reading for me and a reading for Tamara. She did 2 different kinds of readings, and with mine, she just tapped in, and with Tamara, she did the cards. But that's okay. That's totally good. There's nothing wrong with that. If that's her belief, then and that feels true to her, that's the way. That's okay. And we all have to be okay. I'm going to say it as I always do. Thank you, Mom, for giving me this phrase. Spirituality is a personal journey. And if they want to use crystals, cards, and all, where I think they do get lost is when they start putting specific powers to things. This crystal does that. This crystal does that. This crystal does that. I think that is just more New Age dogma and more New Age ceremony and belief. I don't think that one crystal has any more power than any other crystal. It's just like, gold and silver. The only reason they have value is because we decided they did. They're just metals that were in the ground. But we like that one, so that one's valuable. I mean, that's really the way it all works. We put beliefs behind things, and then we try to figure it out. There's no scientific reason why any of these crystals would do anything, right? It's like silicone. They can store information in it. Does that mean it emanates healing properties? And when you look at any one of these minerals, gems, crystals, and cards even, they're all made of atoms, and those atoms are just that pure energy of God, and we are one with that one source. And so why do you need to create something else to connect to the one source that you're already a part of? That's my take. I know 100% I'm going to get dislikes on this video. I also know 100% people are going to argue with me on this. I'm not arguing. If that's your belief, great. I respect that. This is my belief I'm speaking of. I'm not judging you. I am telling you what is true for me. And this is not a judgment on you. So you don't need to fight me. So you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.